Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pester Line Podcast, the inaugural episode of the Pester Line Podcast. Finally getting this motherfucker off the ground. Oh, I can't say that early in YouTube. They'll get in trouble. I don't know if that's still a thing, but we'll figure it out. I can bleep it out if we
can
need
edit
to.
in post.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit in Pro Tools. I'm Michael LeBois. With me are the Peck brothers, Alex and Sean, and we're here to talk about all things hockey, sports. Primarily the Colorado Avalanche, as well as any topics we really find relevant within the world of sports. Anything.
Is it copyright infringement to say the wide world of sports still, or is that?
I think ABC still owns the rights to that, Sean, but it's not a bad joke to make it. I claim fair use.
Parody law.
But, just to get started, this is kind of a fun project for us. We've been trying to get this thing off the ground for a little while and definitely excited to present to you guys some fun stuff to talk about, sports-wise, anything-wise. And truthfully, I'm just excited to get to hang out with my friends for, 45 minutes to an hour every week and just shoot the shit and see what we have to say about anything, really.
Sounds good.
Yes.
So, as we mentioned, this is mostly a hockey-centric podcast, but we cover a lot of different things. And one of the things we want to talk about, at least I want to talk about, what on God's green earth does Dave Haxtell have on this coaching staff to keep his fucking job with how pathetic this power play has been for the Avalanche? Like, they're the best team in hockey, hands down. They're going to win the President's Trophy. There is no question. But this power play is, for lack of a better term, powerless.
I mean, it's definitely one of those things that it's hard to wrap your mind around of how, I think Sean can pull up the stats. We're one of the best teams 5-on-5.
Let's see here. Our goals for, we have 197 goals for. I know our goal differential is like better than the next 5 or 6 teams combined.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And our power play currently is at 15.9%, which is 5th worst in the league.
Which is like something the Avalanche have struggled with in the McKinnon era for some reason. We've never had, I think, a lights-out power play, which, again, goes against kind of the general wisdom of hockey is you give the best players in the world an advantage, they're going to do things. But when you give the Avalanche an advantage, all of a sudden they forget how to play hockey, and it's more than frustrating at this point because, like we've talked about before, coming off of last year's playoff loss to Dallas, it's already bitten us in the ass. And we tried to remedy the problem getting this new coach, and it's been worse.
Which is impressive because
Right.
It was so bad against Dallas.
So, okay, my question is this then. As somebody who sees things like this, what is it, this concept of like the default setting? Your default setting as a player, their default setting is pass, try to find the perfect shot, look for only lanes and openings as opposed to attempting something that may not be perfect or may not be direct, but it's an opportunity, it's a chance. Like, I feel like McKinnon and Makar specifically always are trying to find like the perfect one-touch pass to create that perfect shot versus looking at it from the perspective of taking opportunities, trying to get rebounds, clean up goals, situations like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you got guys like Lehkonen and Nichushkin and Landeskog, if he gets healthy in front of the net, like, just muck it up a little bit.
I think the problem
towards net.
I think the problem stems from Bednar's system, because the Avalanche have made no secret about their reliance on speed. and our ability to break into the zone is second to none. I think we have the highest breakaway or like breakout goals on the rush of any team. And for some reason, we can't translate that into power play success. The Avalanche don't have experience setting up in the zone and getting a system going. Our entire goal scoring MO right now is get into the zone as fast as possible, put a shot on net. And then when you take that away from the Avalanche and say, hey, set up, that's when the problems are starting to eke out. And I don't know, if it just seems so obvious to me. I don't understand how it's not obvious to the coaching staff that we need to kind of like stab it back a little bit.
Yeah.
It's funny because that game we were at a few weeks ago where you brought that up and was like, oh, they should just turn their power play into a rush. We're like, get in, try to take your rush opportunity, and if it doesn't work, get out. And then like the next power play they had, they did that where it was a rush chance, they scored, and it just like, oh, hey, prove my point. Let's just do this. Like, we don't need to set up and try things, because at this point it feels like if a team scores the first goal, just take 60 minutes worth of penalties and you'll beat the Avs. Like, you're better off shorthanded against, because how many, what are we giving up, like, I don't know,
8,
2 or 3 shorthanded breakaways a game now?
Yeah, and we've given up 8 shorthanded goals this season, which is the most we've given up in 3 years, I believe. Hey, in the comment section, fact check me, please do. I always appreciate being told I'm wrong. I am often wrong, so.
I don't ever correct me. Just tell me how right I am.
We always like to correct Mike, though.
Yeah,
that's fun.
That's very true. But that brings me to another point. Isn't that why teams like Anaheim, like we struggle against Anaheim, because they drop 4 back. They have one player on the forecheck. They drop 4 back at the blue line. They don't try to push the play. They're a counterattack team, so they're trying to mitigate how Colorado uses their speed and mitigate how we score a majority of our goals. Like, that's something I think is a big part of why I think we play worse against certain teams. Teams that tend to sit back, teams that tend to not look at us and try to play with the Colorado Avalanche. The teams we beat the most are the teams that try to match our speed, like in Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean, that's the rock, paper, scissors of hockey. Is there's always going to be a count. No coach has come up with the perfect system yet of here's how you win games. The Avalanche have put together a team that's really fast, and you can try. That's why we have, I think, the highest power play numbers of anybody in the league, which is also funny that our power play sucks, is because our speed leads to more power plays. You have to contain the Avalanche, and you have to stop McKinnon and Nietzsche's, and the only way to do that sometimes is to take a bad penalty.
Well, the fascinating thing is our penalty kill is 3rd best in the league.
Well, that's what it's just. It boggles the mind how bad the power play is. Could we take a couple of spots from the penalty kill, drop the penalty kill to like, I don't know, 10th best in the league, and just bump the power play up to like maybe close to middle ground. Just like a little bit closer to middle ground. Not like, I don't want to be bottom 5. Let's like, I don't know, up at like 5 or 6 spots and see what happens.
Yeah.
Can I do that? Can that happen, please?
That'd be nice.
How many games have we lost at this point if our power play is anything better than the 15% it currently is?
It just feels like the hockey gods are trying to introduce parity, because if the Avalanche did have a mediocre power play, we would be unstoppable.
Well, yeah.
Because like if you get a penalty against the Avalanche, it should be a guaranteed goal. And how many penalties we do get with our speed, we should be winning games 5-0, 6-0.
Well, it's interesting because like
5-1, 6-1, because we always managed to give up one in the last 14 seconds of the game.
We're going 0 for that. I think that 8-2 or something victory we had against Edmonton, we went like 0 for 6.
0 for 7.
Yep.
We still scored a ton of goals.
I'll give you the last 2 happened in garbage time when we were already belt to ass. So I'll give you those 2, but we still would have gone 0 for 5 if you take those last 2 late power plays out, and we still scored 8 goals. Like, if our power play is even somewhat decent, we probably have 12, 13 goals in that game.
It just worries me because I don't hear enough people sounding the alarm of this is a problem. I don't care how good of a regular season record we've got. Goals dry up in the playoffs. power plays dry up in the playoffs.
I have seen a lot more discourse online where like fans now are starting to be like, what is going on? Why is the power play so bad? Like, I'll give you the first month and a half of the season, new coach trying to figure out the power play system. Okay, we're a little hit or miss on it, whatever, that's fine. But like from a viewership standpoint, the power play looks like the same system from last season.
We're more than halfway through the year.
And it doesn't work. At one point, like if you watch Edmonton's power play, a lot of times what will happen is Draisaitl will carry the puck just across the blue line, and then McDavid comes screaming in across the blue line, and that's how they run their drop pass that the Avs try to do. The one time I saw the Avs try to do that, where I think, it might have been Nate just carries the puck in, stops at the blue line, McKinnon comes down, Nate just hands it to him with the blue line, they score. Okay, let's try that. Instead of this drop pass that everybody knows is coming, you see whoever's carrying the puck up from the defensive zone. You see McKinnon or Nate just wrapping back around the back of the net. You know where it's going. You know where the puck's going to go. So, I don't know, with the speed we have, maybe Nate just carry that puck a little bit closer, push the defense back a little more. And then as you push them back, drop it to McKinnon to push them further back. Give him more of an opening instead of giving him the puck at the defensive hash marks.
Yeah.
So my next question about the power play is, as one of our favorite sayings, what was it? Every blind acorn finds a nut. Is the 15% we're scoring, is that the blind acorn, or is that semblance of this working? Like, is our success blind luck? Like, the Avalanche are going to score, or is the system have some kind of benefit?
To me, and I've said this way too many times this season, it feels like the power play goals that we have scored, at least a majority of them, the few that there are, have been just because this team is so offensively powerful that at some point it just has to go in. It's not a product of the system or what they're doing. It's just a product of the fact that on the first power play unit, you have Natchez, McKinnon, and McCarr out there. Like, they're going to score at some point on accident.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it too, majority of the goals are scored in the same fashion as well. It's always, at least in the last few weeks, it's been a cross ice pass from McKinnon to Nelson, empty net on the backside, one-timer goal.
I do very much like Nelson on the top power play unit.
I think Brock Nelson's a perfect fit on the top power play unit, especially right now because he's on fire. But I would also be curious to see what the breakdown looks like right now in the last few games. I feel like they've scored a couple more recently, but I agree with you, Alex. I think this is, if they don't seem to find a semblance of an answer on this, it could be another early exit against Dallas or Minnesota or whoever we end up having to play in,
it's
in the first or second round.
It's going to be a situation like it was, against Winnipeg, where like, okay, we can probably beat who we play in the first round, whatever. But then we hit the second round and it starts getting even more intense and more physical and more, shut down. We're gonna get spanked if we can't figure out the power play because, like I said earlier, just take a penalty against the Avs. That's 2 free minutes, and hell, you'll probably get a breakaway.
Yeah.
Like I said, what is the solution to doing this? Because one of my pet ideas, and it might be controversial, is what we're trying to do with the speed isn't working, but that doesn't mean it's the speed's problem. What would happen if the Avalanche went back to the dump and chase? Because we have the speed to dump the puck into the zone and to go and get it back. What is our fear about going to that system?
Well, it's not just the speed, like.
We have the physicality, too.
McKinnon's not afraid to hit people.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of McKinnon in the corner.
Natchez isn't afraid to hit people.
Let's send him in there.
Lehkonen spends most of his game in front of the net, so he's not afraid of it.
And you're carrying guys like Burns and Manson. And shit, Girard's the smallest guy on the ice, and he hits more people than most people give him credit for.
Yeah, because the way the Avalanche have their power play set up right now is we know where the drop pass is coming. the defense can get into their position. They can set up their trap, their diamond, their box, whatever their plan is. They can get into that because they know it's coming. If you dump the puck in, one of your guys has to go out of position to go and fight for it. Or you just let the Avs get it uncontested, which again would be a win for us. So I don't see why we're not doing the drop in.
And like the other thing that you could think about is how it was a few seasons ago when we were on the power play. I don't remember who we were playing or like what was going on, but I just remember Makar had the puck on the power play, and he was coming up the ice. And McKinnon was coming up behind him like, okay, here, we're going to drop pass it. And Makar does this little hip shimmy like he's going to drop the pass, fakes the drop pass, and ends up on a breakaway and scores. Like, why isn't that happening more often? Like, everybody knows that drop pass is coming. Well, why not fucking, play action it every now and then?
The answers are there. They're just not doing the things that have worked for some stupid fucking reason. Also, this game going on behind us is Ottawa, Colorado. It's currently 3-2 Ottawa. Going into the second period, this is NHL 26 behind us, 20-minute periods, so it's a bit excessive. I get that.
It's just, are the Avalanche afraid of success? Or did the league send out a mandate? Are we crazy?
I am so...
Is it Gary Bettman's fault?
Are we crazy? Is the power play not a problem? I just, like, what... Do we just take this on the chin and say, we're the best team in the league?
Before the holiday break, I thought we were going crazy because it seemed like we were like the only people that were like, oh my God, what is wrong with the power play? Because everybody else, like all the analysts and everything that I was seeing on social media stuff was like, oh yeah, the Avs, I wouldn't worry about it though. They'll figure their power play out. And now here we are, almost in February, almost to the Olympic break, and our power play is still on its last legs, it feels like. I mean, 16% on the power play for a team with as much firepower as the Avs have.
I mean, 16% is unforgivable.
Ridiculous. And then, you turn around and you look at, Edmonton is clipping along at 32%. If you compare the two teams, we should be right there with them as far as the power play is concerned. I mean, you got your top 5 on power plays: Edmonton, Dallas, Boston, Pittsburgh, and Vegas. What are they doing that we're not?
We've got more talent than them, and that's the thing. It's like the Edmonton Oilers, I think, are the closest team built like the Avalanche in regards to speed. So there's no reason we can't just copy what they're doing. If it's working, 32% is working.
Yeah, I mean, that is an absolutely insane number. 32% is ridiculous. I remember years ago where you were happy with a 25% power play. That was really, really good and like top of the league. And
it's frustrating because on one side I feel like, I don't know what the proper metaphor or old adage is, but it feels like we're complaining about a good thing. Like, we're looking at gift horse in the mouth, right? Like, the Avalanche are number 1 in the league. They're doing great. One thing is not going to be working right. But I just personally feel like so much is downstream of a good power play. Of, like, if we hurt teams for giving us a power play, they're going to be less likely to give us one. That opens the 5-on-5 up a lot more. Because teams are going to, like, we can't contain McKinnon with a hook or a interference.
Yeah.
So we're going to let him by, or we're going to back off him, and it's going to open up more passing lanes. So it's like so much is downstream from a good power play. Not having a good one constricts us because you can interfere with McKinnon. You can hook Nate just when he's coming in because that'll stop the goal, and we're not going to do anything for the 2 minutes you give us. So why not?
I'm trying to find out how many penalties we've actually drawn this year. StatMuse was being a jerk to me. Looks like it's 170, which is the second most behind San Jose.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to draw a team like the Avs as fast as they are. You're going to draw penalties.
Right.
There's no question that you're going to draw penalties. and you look at that, and we're barely 16% on 170.
We've scored 27 power play goals on 170 opportunities. That's pathetic.
What a fun number.
That's frustrating as shit.
Like I said, like that puts a lot of pressure on the Avalanche in other areas, because the team, I feel like if I'm the other team, I'm gonna look at that and say like, okay, let's take out Blackwood, get a 2-minute goal to interference. What's the problem gonna be?
Go the hits route and be like, what, why not?
If we can't contain McKinnon's speed with our skill, let's just rough him up. Let's stop him at the blue line with an interference. Let's hook him on a breakaway. Let's slash his ass. It's not gonna matter. We're gonna stop that goal from happening, because like with how fast it is, you're gonna have lapses in defense, and so to make up for it, you get a penalty.
Well,
and now you stop the goal, you stop the scoring chance there, and then the Avalanche are going to do anything for 2 minutes, so it ends up being a really good idea.
Well, and that brings up another frustrating point where you could also you don't really have to worry about the penalty shot either, because apparently we can't score on those either.
I don't want to talk about shootouts. Let's not talk about shootouts. I don't ever want to talk about shootouts. Now the funny thing is, Georgiev sucked at everything but shootouts.
It was like he stoned McDavid that one time in the All-Star game, and they decided his career was over after that. He was like, I don't need to do anything else. I have peaked.
So to kind of piggyback off of this, the rumor mill is very heavy right now as we approach the Olympic window and the trade deadline.
Trade deadline season.
It's trade deadline season. That's Sean's like bread and butter.
That and draft season.
Yeah. So we're gonna lean heavy on Rhode Island Red for that. And just talk about those things. But the big storylines right now coming out of these trade windows, a lot of conversation about Artemi Panarin, Evander Kane, Nazem Kadri. Do any of those potentially help fix our power play? And if so, what do we have to give up to bring them in? And by all means, I will stand here and say on my soapbox, if we bring in Evander Kane, I might have to question my Avs fandom for the rest of my life. I can't stand that fucking guy.
That's one thing I don't mind losing to Dallas too. That's they can win that one. Personally, watching this team, broad stroke, not just looking at the power play. If we can bring in a true third-line center or somebody capable of playing third-line center, you can drop Drury to be a really good fourth-line center, as opposed to where he's at now, where he's kind of a sort of good third-line center. So you go out and you look for somebody to play third-line center. That's where I feel like Kadri or O'Reilly could be good. I don't know about O'Reilly coming back here. I don't know what that would do, or if he would even want to. I know he doesn't have a no movement in his contract, I don't think. But it seems like Trotz in Nashville is treating it like he has a no movement clause for some reason. Like, for some reason, he's royalty in Nashville, and he's only been there for a couple of seasons now. I don't get it, but it is what it is. I feel like they were just trying to build the best 2009, 2010 team that they could this season.
Man, they built the best 2012 All-Star squad of all time.
But, I feel like a guy like Kadri, he fits with this team. He fits in the locker room. He fits in the system. If you could get him out of Calgary for any sort of retained on his contract at all, I think you got to try. Because I feel like Kadri's the kind of guy that wouldn't be super upset about being a third-line center. And I feel like having Kadri on your third line would help Bednar maybe spread the minutes around a little bit more than he does, so that you don't have McKinnon and Makar playing 35 minutes a game.
Yeah.
I don't know what it takes to get Kadri retained, especially. You're probably looking at something like Colton, Brindley, Picks, which I wouldn't really want to do.
I'm a big Gavin Brindley guy. I would hate to see him go.
I don't know. I feel I'm more conservative on the roster as it is right now, because, not to beat a dead horse, the power play is the problem. Panarin's not going to fix it. Kadri's not going to fix it. if anything, they're going to make it worse because you're bringing in the same personalities and the same skill sets.
True.
The only thing that might fix it a little bit, maybe, is if you could get O'Reilly in. But then you're bringing in another Lehkonen type guy in front of the net, another Nichushkin guy in front of the net.
O'Reilly, I would want for the face-off percentage.
Oh yeah, well McKinnon's been way better in the face-off circle this year.
Which is great.
It's like he finally decided, hey, this is the one thing in my game that I'm not amazing at.
I should do it.
Maybe I should practice. And that makes me wonder, is Crosby retiring soon? Because I feel like that was the one thing Crosby had on McKinnon.
Is it the Brock Nelson effect?
That
maybe?
He wouldn't teach McKinnon how to take face-offs in the off-seasons. And now that he's like, yeah, maybe we're getting close to retirement, I can teach this. I can teach this kid how to take face-offs now.
You're ready for this knowledge, young one.
Could it also be the Brock Nelson effect?
I don't know what it is because, like we've argued this entire time, McKinnon's played hockey his entire life. He's been a center his entire life.
But he's been really bad at
centers take face-offs. That's kind of a big part of your role.
Unless you're on the left side and Landeskog takes it for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I feel like I'm a fan of metaphors. I feel like if you look at the Avalanche right now, it's a red hot convertible. We're just cruising down the highway and there's smoke coming out of the radio, out of the radio.
One of them spark plug connections is a little bit loose.
Yeah, and like
you might get there, but
instead of talking about going to the mechanic, we're talking about going to the car wash. It's like I don't want Panarin. He doesn't seem like he does anything for the locker room. He doesn't seem like he does anything for the success of the teams he's on. He had a real magical moment in Columbus to really build a team around like Duchesne, Panarin, Bobrovsky. They could have been something cool.
Yeah, and he scored the series clinching goal to sweep Tampa in the year that they were
and then
absolutely amazing.
Immediately, all of them are like, "This place sucks. We're out of here."
Yeah,
and that made me have a chip on my shoulder.
Which is a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
Yeah, we could go into that.
We could spend a whole session on Columbus management.
Man.
And it's like Kadri, I will always love him for being a part of a cup team. He's a great personality. But then there's that little monkey on his shoulder of can he contain his rage in the playoffs? Because Toronto knows really well what that's like.
Well, he went. He went 1 for 3 with us.
But like, how much did his on ice antics cost us in those other runs?
True.
Yeah. I love Kadri. I think he's a great player, but we don't need to add problems when we've already got a big glaring one.
Yeah, I just think of the group that's been rumored forward wise for the Avs right now. If I was C-Mac or Sakic, I'm calling Calgary. I don't care about Panarin. I definitely don't care about Evander Kane.
Fuck Evander Kane. I'm going to say that every time.
I do not think outside of the hockey world, whatever, I don't care. Hockey itself on the ice, I don't think Evander Kane brings anything to this team that we don't already have.
Right.
Or anything that we need.
Right.
Because we have guys like Ross Colton and Gabe Landeskog and O'Connor and Manson that are going to bring that physicality without always going over the line. I know, I've seen a bunch of stuff about how Evander Kane's been a lot better in the room with Edmonton and now in Vancouver. But I don't think you risk bringing that into a team where the locker room seems as fragile as it is when your captain's not in there. And then when you talk about Panarin, what kind of effect does that have on the room? Because he snubbed you a couple years ago.
Yep. When
you had McKinnon calling him and texting him and trying to get him here, and he goes, "No, you know what? I'm gonna go play for the Rangers
for a bank."
Yeah. And I mean, besides that, do you want to pay what New York's gonna want for a guy like Panarin? Because I guess they're looking for like a Brock Nelson type return.
And while you already know that they're not going to re-sign him.
Yeah, do you want to pay that knowing that New York has come out and said, we're not re-signing him. He's going to hit free agency at the end of the year. There's probably teams, I could see a team like Edmonton who was like, we've been in the finals the last 2 years. We cannot get over the goddamn hump. Hopefully we don't see Florida again if we get there. Does a guy like Panarin help Edmonton get over the hump? Maybe, I don't know. But that's enough to say a team like Edmonton or a team like Pittsburgh, if they're still in the playoff hunt, maybe they take a swing at it. Because Crosby wants to win. Crosby doesn't want to spend the last couple seasons in Pittsburgh as a lottery pick.
I just think the Avalanche are in a prime position right now to only hurt themselves. The amount that the Avalanche can tweak their roster to increase it, it's diminishing returns. We've already got a great team right now, and it's showing in the stats and the goals and the wins. It's all showing. We have a great opportunity to crash and burn if we give too much to a team for a guy that's not going to give us anything past a year or two.
I feel like it's a situation when you look back at the 22 deadline, where it's like you need to really look at what you're trying to add, because when we went out and we added Lehkonen and Manson, like those fit so perfectly into the team.
Yeah. And we didn't give away anything that was on the NHL roster that created problems.
Well, I mean, at the time when you trade Justin Barron for a Terry Lehkonen,
right?
At the time, a lot of people were like, "Oh, I don't know. That's like one of our best defensive prospects. What are you doing? Why did you make that deal?" And now, obviously, hindsight, everybody's like, "Okay, cool. That worked out real well because of obviously Lehkonen scored the goal to send us to the Cup final." But you know, you could look at it and say, okay, if we have another opportunity like that to bring a guy like that in, you know, it sucks. But we have Sean Barron's. I would hate to do it, but you do have Gavin Brindley.
We just extended Malinsky today.
Yeah, Malinsky with a 4-year, $4.5-ish million deal, which I love. I think
because he could have gotten a lot more on the open market.
I think it's great.
It just keeps coming back to why. Do we need any of these things?
I have a thought. There is one deadline acquisition that we will make that we without having to send anybody anywhere.
New special teams coach?
Logan O'Connor.
You know,
His LOC comes back from injury. He slots right back in.
I do hope he comes back at some point, but God, I hate, loathe entirely we got an injured player back. That's our trade deadline acquisition. Like, don't
you know what I mean?
I
though.
Swear to God, if they frame it like that, I'm going to scream.
No, I apologize for framing it that way.
The first 5 minutes of the podcast episode after the trade deadline, if C-Mac comes out and says that, is going to be me screaming.
That's fair, and I respect it.
Because I hate that.
I'm more so framing it as we don't need to make any moves if we're going to be getting pieces back that A, already know the system, B, fit the system and have already won here and are filling in those gaps. And
no, I completely agree. And that's why I really like being in a position that we're in coming to the trade deadline where it's not like, oh my God, we need this, and this. Like coming into this trade deadline, it's like, okay, cool. It'd be great to get a third line center. It'd be great to get a 5 to 7 level D for some depth,
that's something we kind of
need. Which is weird that we traded Solo away because that was him. We don't have very good defensive depth, which is weird because years ago
that's all we had.
We had pretty good defensive depth and no centers, and now all we have
the turntable.
And now all we have are centers.
Yeah,
and no defensive depth.
Achane's been okay. I mean, he's literally the smallest man I've ever seen on skates next to maybe Martin St. Louis, but
I mean, yeah, he's been good. But how many 5'9", 170 puck moving defensemen do you need?
Oh, that's true. Good point. I mean, we already have Gerard.
Because I mean, when you look at it, when Taves comes back,
yeah,
obviously he's going back down to the minors. Taves will slot in where he always slots in. But like, yeah, if you're
my heart,
right here, well, Daddy Taves.
Oh, Daddy Taves.
But yeah, when you look at that, you're like, okay, some defensive depth could help. Because but you don't need the 5'9".
No.
190-pound sucking wet guy because you got Gerard and Malinsky and.
Because he's a baby.
You need another man.
How old is Achane?
I mean, he's a baby physically.
Oh, I thought he was on the higher end of the 20s. That's why I thought he was like a career AHLer.
Is there another 40-year-old defenseman out there that's entering his second prime that we can snipe away from somebody else?
Suter?
Because
we had Parise. We might as well bring in the other version of that deal.
Because holy crap.
And that, it's funny because the struggle is we've kind of struggled a little bit the Avs have struggled a little bit in the last little stretch of time without Landeskog and Taves, and that window of losing guys was frustrating. You lost Taves, you lost Landeskog, you lost Blackwood for a minute, you had Val in a car crash.
Maybe you're right. Maybe the hockey gods are trying to create parity. Like how do you get into a car wreck on the way to the arena the day of a game? Like what?
It just feels like there are maleficent forces acting against us.
Right, and it's weird, but now like talk is Taves is a few days away.
Landeskog's skating.
Landeskog's back on his skates, and I'm just since this is our first show and we haven't had a chance to talk about it. Who else was like super excited to know that it was an upper body injury and not a knee?
I've never been more happy. I've never been more happy in my life to see upper body injury.
Oh, thank God he broke a rib.
Yeah, he broke a rib. He didn't blow that knee out again.
Well, the way he caught the ice and that knee torque,
yeah.
I was like, oh, God, he blew out his healthy knee.
Even Mosher was like, oh, no. But yeah, like, I mean, in our last 10 games, the Avs are... That doesn't math right. 4-4-1. That doesn't math right. That's 9 games. ESPN.
Okay,
what are you doing?
So in the last 9, we're
4-4-1.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
Make it simple for you.
Yeah, because apparently I can't read. I'll never learn to read good. But the challenge is like we're still 11 points in first place. We're still safely covering distance. We have the best goal differential in hockey. But it feels like we've kind of been really sloppy or at least off kilter in some regards without Taves and without Landeskog in the lineup. Is that one of those situations where there are two heart guys who really kind of settle down this team and keep them more relaxed on the ice? Because I feel like when it's McKinnon and Makar and Lehkonen together, like I don't feel like Nate just does this very often. Because I don't see him as streaky as like a Lehkonen. But do you ever feel like it's sawdust games for them when Landeskog and Taves are off the ice? They're just gripping the sticks a little too tight. Especially fucking McKinnon in overtime. I love him to death. He's the greatest player in the league. Stop passing the puck in overtime. Fuck! Like 3 goals that we've given up or led to shootouts because he's chosen to try and do a no-look behind-the-back pass, or he gets picked in the corner because he's out there for 4 of the 5 minutes. But do you think that that's kind of the impact of a guy like a Landeskog, a guy like a Taves, and when we get them back, do you think some of the minor glaring issues, I call them minor glaring issues, that's a fucking oxymoron, will get fixed when those guys are back on the ice?
Well, I mean, back to the main theme so far of this particular episode, it seems our power play was still trash with Landeskog and Taves healthy. So I don't know that it helps that too much. But for whatever reason, when you look at the last 3.5 seasons up to this point, this season alone proves like how important Landeskog is to this team, and it's frustrating because what happens when he's not on this team anymore? Like, what would he do? Because apparently he's the best leader that this team has and has had for a very long time, because without him, sure, we're great because, again, the talent level gets you there.
Yep.
So, we've been in a spot to be Stanley Cup favorites the 3 years that he was out, but just couldn't get over that hump. And whether you want to blame that on Nichushkin, the power play, whatever.
I forgot about Nichushkin in Seattle. Thanks for opening that wound, Sean.
But like, you look at what happened this season and the jump that Landeskog gives this team. I kind of like to compare it a little bit to where like McKinnon is more of a lead by example, not by voice kind of guy, like Forsberg seemed to have been. Whereas like, he could be the captain, but do you want him to be? Like, do you want to put that pressure on him? And I feel like when Landeskog's out, McKinnon shoulders a lot of that pressure to be the leader that he doesn't necessarily want to be vocally.
Right.
Because he is such a competitive person and so, like, win at almost any cost that I don't know how motivating it is to guys when he's the only voice in the room.
Well, and that's another sign of any sport, really. You're vocal, like, you need different types of leadership. I think McKinnon and Landeskog work so well together because you have a lead by example and a lead by voice guy. It's why the Nuggets work so well, because you have Jamal Murray, who's a lead by example guy, and Jokic, who is a very vocal leader, Most guys can't understand him half the time because he's very, very aggressive. But like that's one of those things that, you need both really to be successful. And I'm wondering if maybe that's part of why they're struggling in this little window here. And if it's and it could be a good thing.
Well, and they balance each other too, I feel like. I feel like McKinnon very much wears his...
You complete me.
But yeah, because like
are so out of control.
I mean, you look at it and like McKinnon wears his emotions on his sleeves. Like that dude, you can tell what he's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel
Good
like
thing none of us have sleeves.
And I feel like McKinnon, like Landeskog, calms that down a little bit, so he can focus more on playing the game. Even though Angry McKinnon is the best player on the planet, like far and away, even more than he already is. Angry McKinnon is a whole nother level.
That's true.
But like, yeah, you still have Landeskog there, kind of bring him back down to earth, just a little bit, just a little bit.
I don't know. I feel like I'll chalk up what's going on right now just because NHL seasons are long. There's gonna be slumps. The Avalanche. If I was, everybody's hoping for a record year. Every first game of the year, we're like, all right, we're 82-0.
Let's go, baby.
82-0, baby. 100% power play, 100% penalty kill. We aren't letting nobody score on us.
I only did that once in NHL Face-Off 2001 with the Avalanche.
So I was like after we lost our first game, it was kind of like, all right, what's the record for most losses or like least losses in the year? I think it's 8.
Yeah.
And so like those numbers are fun, but they're unrealistic. So I expect the Avalanche to slump. It's the mid-season. It's a long season. Not every game matters right now. It'll matter at the end of the year when we miss by 2 points or something.
This though, I think, is a good spot to kind of hit that bump.
Yeah.
Yes!
Because then you have the Olympic break to
reset,
recharge.
Yeah.
Or the All-Star break and another whatever. But this before the break is probably the best time to hit a little bump in the road.
Yeah.
Because then you have time to figure it out and think about it.
Yeah, you say that, but then Dallas goes on an 0-7 run going into the playoffs and then demolish us. So, like, you can slump whenever. Yeah. Apparently. I remember going into that playoff series and, like, they've lost 7 in a row. And then they lost to us, I think, to make it 8-0 or 0-8 at the start. And it was like...
Yeah, I get it.
It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
From, like, a comfort standpoint, I would prefer for my heart health...
For the blankie.
...to slump here and not lose 10 games going to the playoffs because then I'm going to panic way more than I should.
In English Premier League soccer, they call this era a blip. My team, Arsenal.
Soccer chat, I'll be right back.
Is going through a blip right now as well, but they're still in first place. Also owned by the same people who own the Avalanche, so it's relevant. That's why I brought it up. But no, a blip is an important thing because it kind of helps you reset. I know it can happen at any time.
Yeah, like I'm with both of you guys, and I'm gonna say okay. If I'm gonna slump at any point in the season, I want it to be the middle. Because in the beginning, you might make some rash decisions and say we're firing everybody, we're getting rid of this person because it's not working.
Or you trade your entire goalie tandem and somehow turn it around.
In the middle of the season, you're like, all right, we know this works. Let's get back to basics. Let's whatever cliche college coach thing you want to throw in there.
Yeah, these guys have played 50 games to this point.
We'll figure it out.
We're gonna be a little tired.
It's just so frustrating to go through these things and say like, oh well, we really don't want to slump going into the playoffs. I'm like, that doesn't matter.
No.
Because we're going to lose anyway.
Realistically, and I know we've talked about this a lot, realistically, it doesn't matter. Once you hit game 1 of the playoffs, those prior 82 games don't matter.
No, it's a new slate. It's a brand new vision.
That's where, like, when guys are going in and, like, some of these analysts and things I see online where they're like, oh, Colorado's playing Edmonton in this series, and in the season series, here's what happened. I'm like, okay, cool, that's great, but it doesn't matter.
And then you sweep Edmonton.
Playoff hockey is a whole different animal.
Yep.
Which is what I don't think the Avalanche are preparing for.
No, because our power play is trash.
Because we've identified the problem.
Second period has ended. It is 5-4 Ottawa. There are 98 shots between the two teams already through 2 periods.
Wow. Well,
that's ridiculous. That's not realistic at all.
All right.
No. Did I math that right? Was that close?
Jesus, shots are 58-44. That is incredible.
Holy shit.
That'd be incredible at the end of the game.
Yeah, and there's still a whole period left.
That's honestly incredible in a playoff overtime game, to be honest.
So, Sean, actually, you brought up the next point I kind of wanted to talk about. What's the impact of the Olympics going to have now that we're back to them being there?
I hate the Olympics.
You do?
It's just, no, it's not fun. It was fun when it was a bunch of high school, college boys like representing their country.
Agreed.
And now it's just, I have, maybe it's because I'm still bitter from 2010. I just don't
That's never
care.
That won't ever go away.
That's never gonna go away.
No, and
It's an interesting. I mean, it's an interesting thing because like I do like letting the guys that aren't gonna hit the NHL go represent their country in the Olympics because like they're not gonna have the glory of playing in the NHL.
glory.
So like, you know, boxing them out with NHL players sucks because what are they going to do now? Go play AHL for the rest of their lives, play ECHL for the rest of their lives, and end their road and go straight to beer league out of college or juniors, like.
And then fuck dudes like Sean up pretty bad.
I mean, all roads lead to beer league. No matter what level you get to, at the end of it all, everybody plays beer league. But like it also on the other side, like you made the NHL, you can't represent your country. Like I don't know, it's tough but I do like letting the kids that aren't gonna hit the NHL represent
Fuck
their
them
country
kids.
because like I don't know, they got more to play for.
We can blame the NBA for all of this, by the way. They were the first ones to really push having professional players in their leagues.
I don't know. I just don't care about the Olympics. I guess at a basic level, I might not be somebody to be in this conversation because
that's fair.
I do not like the Olympics. I don't care. Every year, every 2 years, it's just the same. Like, oh, well, now we're running around. Oh, now we're skating around. I don't care. And I don't know.
Did a figure skater break your heart?
I wish.
No, the 2010 U.S. men's
2010
team broke my heart.
Fucking Sidney Crosby. God damn you, Sidney. I'm curious because I'm excited to see. We have quite a few guys going.
8, I think.
Brock Nelson, Arturi Lehkonen, Gabe Landeskog, McKinnon, Taves, Makar.
Did you say Natchez?
I did not. Natchez and Lehkonen. So that's.
I think I said Lehkonen twice.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive,
Dodge.
God, I love that movie. So that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it's a good representation, but also like, I agree to an extent.
You know what? Give me North America versus the world.
That was fucking awesome.
Give me that.
Those like World Hockey Classics were great. I wouldn't mind another Four Nations. Like I think that was really cool. That way they get to represent their country, but also within the confines of
give
the NHL.
Yeah, give the NHL guys the Four Nations. Give the scrubs that aren't hitting the NHL the Olympics.
But my point being like I think
especially if they're not going to build the rink to correct specs.
That's the other part that pisses me off is that the rink might be too small.
I'll just say
it's like 2 feet small.
Oh.
The neutral zone, the pictures I've seen, the neutral zone, like there's a meme I saw where somebody was like, man, I feel bad for the Italian defenseman that's going to watch McKinnon blow by him in the neutral zone in 2 strides.
I just think one of the things that frustrates me about international play is that like politics always do kind of web their way into it.
Yeah.
And so like with the Four Nations, it's the best on best. You can't have the best on best without Russia. If you're talking hockey, Russia historically has had some of the best players ever. And you just can't do it without them.
They were breeding hockey players for a while there in the 70s and 80s.
And the original format was going to be Czechia and Russia, as well as Sweden, Canada, Finland, and the U.S.
Yeah, and so like with the Olympics, I know Russia's been in hot water the last,
8 years.
10 years. It just seems like Russia's always in trouble.
Yeah.
And so like it's not the best on best anymore. We're excluding one of the best.
Ovechkin.
It's the best-ish on the best-ish.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's just
best on best with an asterisk.
It's just I don't know if
Mickey Mouse Olympics.
As Steve Dangle would say, biest.
I think that's one of those things that like another topic I wanted to kind of broach is something that I've termed championship fatigue, which is a first world problem. It's a success problem. I get it.
If your team doesn't suck, you don't have
If
to worry
you're,
about
yeah,
that.
if you're not the Buffalo Bills,
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, if you're not owned by the Pagulas.
Yeah,
Well,
we have the
okay,
Rockies,
it's-
so we get it.
It's sometimes a good problem to have. Yeah, if you're the early '90s Bills, championship fatigue sucks because you got there.
4
You played
fucking times.
You played as much football as the teams that actually won the Super Bowl 4 years in a row with nothing to show for it, except the fatigue.
It's just like the Olympics kind of factor into that because, I mean, you've got the juniors, and it seems like I should follow the juniors a little bit more. But if it feels like every month a new winner pops up, and like, oh, Finland won. I'm like, I thought we already talked about the juniors. I thought America
Can you
won.
explain that?
And so it's like,
Well, the big World Junior Tournament happens over the New Year's season, so that's why you see in like middle of January, like World Junior champions, and then like the women's tournament happens at different times.
not
But there's
women.
like, but like there's the different age groups and stuff.
It's just
so
too
it
much.
It gets weird. That's
Too
why
much
don't
hockey.
Try being a soccer fan.
don't worry.
No.
Yeah, Alex and I have talked about that a little bit. Where it's like I don't understand. Where it seems like every week we won this league, and then they're playing. Well, the next league starts next week. And I was like, what are you
What's
doing?
happening?
My team is in 4 different cups right now.
What's happening? How many championships do you have?
I'm in position to win a quad this year. So
Like
I'm happy.
what do you play like 4 games a season, and then all of a sudden you're in another season? I don't whatever. But anyway,
But that-
we play 38 games.
That comes to my bigger point of
anywho,
Sorry.
why are you guys into this whole sports world? Because I'll say, like, on a personal standpoint, I wasn't old enough or plugged in enough to really appreciate the 96 2001 cups. It was fun. It was just a time for me to like go over to my friend's house or have them come over, and like winning's always nice, but I didn't know a lot about hockey. Whereas like now the 22 cup, I watched all those guys get drafted. I remember the trades that brought in the other guys. I remember the seasons where we got absolutely destroyed. I remember the second round hump was just something on our backs. And when we got when
Fucking
St.
Nashville.
Louis, when McKinnon scored that goal to take the lead and St. Louis came back and scored and then we lost, I'm like, here it comes again.
So I'm not allowed to go to playoff games.
oh boy.
And so when
was
we
there.
finally crossed it, it was great. And then like we won the cup and that was awesome. That 2-1 win over Tampa was probably the most stressful time of my life. And then the summer was great. You just saw Instagram pictures of the cup popping up everywhere, and people you knew were like taking pictures of the cup. They didn't know we're hockey fans. All of a sudden, everybody was an Avalanche fan that summer.
Yep, bandwagon.
And then the hockey season rolls around again, and you're just kind of like, well, we just do it again. Like what's happening? I want to
One
know.
more time
And I
from
just,
the top.
I felt a lot of my fandom kind of drain away from that, where it's just big fan of Greek myth. This is a Sisyphean task, and to
What a poll.
flex my French philosophy muscles,
Are you about to drop some Descartes on me?
Camus.
Camus? Oh!
ISOCAM.
I just
This is
Alex?
philosophy corner with Alex.
is Sisyphus happy? When I'm watching these sports teams, like what do you guys get out of this year after year? Because it doesn't. We've been to the top of the mountain. We literally you get to the top, it's just another mountain, and you're like, what are we doing?
It is controlled frustration.
Correct.
Why are we doing this to ourselves?
So-
Can we just win forever and call it a day?
So as a fan of multiple sports, I can tell you from perspective of like a Broncos fan. We won 2 Super Bowls back to back, 98 and 99. Like Elway's last 2 seasons, they win 2 Super Bowls. There was no fatigue with that because we were essentially running back the exact same team. We didn't lose any pieces. We didn't run into any situations.
Yeah.
If anything, we added depth to that roster that made them better. And that's something that was impressive. With that 96 team, I was old enough to remember that 96 team. That was the first championship in Colorado. The
Other
Avs
than
winning
the
the cup.
American Basketball Association.
Nuggets never won.
I thought they did win the ABA.
The Nuggets lost in the final ABA playoff ever. The Nuggets have only ever been to a finals once in their entire existence, and that was the year they won it in 2023.
Huh.
In the NBA. In the ABA, they never won a championship ever.
Because I knew the Avalanche were the first like big,
Yeah.
especially after years of Bronco disappointments.
Yeah, and that was frustrating because like if you think about it, I was born in '86. I'm the grandpa of this group. That's why I got gray hair in my beard. But 86, 88, and 86 the Drive. 87 the Drive 2.
The sequel.
More
drivier.
So the Drive was the 98 yard.
Too Furious.
Tokyo Drive.
This time it's personal.
The Drive was Elway, 98 yards in Cleveland, and then the next year Cleveland came to us, and then Ernest Biner fumbled on the 2. That was the Drive 2.
I love that we proved we could do it here too.
Yeah.
Like this isn't just a Cleveland thing.
No.
Go home.
And then they beat. I want to say they beat
Cleveland.
the Raiders to then lose to the Giants. Anyway, so 3 out of 4 years in the middle of Elway's career, he loses 3 Super Bowls.
Oh, what a loser!
And then couldn't get back.
Has he ever tried winning?
He waited until he was 40.
Yeah, but like you could say the same thing about the Avalanche because of the second round home. I mean, Elway is winning. I mean, again, this is Bronco country, and so winning the Super Bowl was probably the greatest thing that ever happened in Colorado, other than like statehood in 1876.
Happy 150th birthday, Colorado.
And so, and like I don't know, it's just like I remember even watching the Broncos win in 2015, and I kind of wasn't just am I just not a sports fan? Like that's what I'm hearing. Is I don't know why.
So what you bring to this is the cynical point of view from a sports fan who is just jaded over the years.
Well, that's what it is. Like I watch the Avalanche and I get frustrated that they don't fix the power play, and then I watch the Avalanche and I get frustrated that we go into the playoffs against a team that's lost 7 in a row, and all the talking points are, oh my God, are they ever gonna win again? And like we're gonna sweep them, and then, as always, the guy we just got rid of, who ends up on that team, is the one that shoves the dagger in the heart and twists a little bit.
The curse of the former Av.
Curse of the former Av.
Because the year before, Duchesne wins in overtime. I think it was overtime.
Yep.
To send us home. And then the next year, Brandon gets a hat trick in the third period to send us packing.
So the key is to just not send another former Av.
Well, okay. We
Dallas.
didn't
send
him that.
We didn't send any of them.
We should burn Carolina to the ground for doing that to us. I mean, okay, we got Natchez and Jury. That's great and everything. Thank you for that. But did you have to send him to Dallas? Are you kidding me?
Did Duchesne sign free agent in Dallas? I'm assuming.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because we sent Duchesne to Ottawa.
As part of the deal that got us Gerard.
We sent both of these guys
and Byram, right?
out of the conference. We're like, please don't come back.
By way of the trade picks.
Yeah, and then Nashville got Kyle Turris in that
deal. Well, I mean, that's
Kyle Turris.
It's just like this overarching frustration of I'm upset about things I literally have no control over, and like it sucked to watch Dallas dismantle. It's not even Dallas,
and then get dog walked in the next round.
It sucked to watch Mikko Rantanen just tear us apart in one period. It sucked to watch, and like everyone called it a revenge game. It's like it's not revenge.
And then turn around and not score any points in the next series or something like that.
Yep.
I think he got another hat trick or something like
in the first game, and then he was dead silent the rest of the series.
Which like,
it's great.
Why do we do this to ourselves? We won the cup. Let's get into like whittling or something.
I think part of it though, Alex, is like as a fan, I always want my team to win, but I also know it's unrealistic. Was I heartbroken on Sunday? Yes, I was fucking devastated. Mainly because it was fucking New England, and I hate New England.
But if New England loses, don't they pass the Broncos for the most Super Bowl losses?
I don't know. We lost a lot.
Denver's lost 5 Super Bowls. This will be the New England's 12th appearance in the Super Bowl. Denver would have had sole possession of second place if they'd made it with 9 appearances. But we're also 0-2 against the NFC West, 0-2 against or 0-3 against the NFC East, and then 3-0 against the other 2 combined.
But that's a good point because, like, to talk about the Broncos a little bit more, I watched highlights of the Broncos. I didn't watch any game. The only game I watched was the Colts game, which was frustrating.
That game should have won. Was not leverage. Fuck off NFL.
But that's like
anyway.
So. I made myself care about the Broncos, and I remember sitting in a parking garage with Sean, maybe a few blocks away from Mile High Stadium in the Denver Water parking garage, listening to that overtime, like the overtime call, and being just stoked when we kicked it to win. I got to see the fireworks go off at Mile High, and I was like, this is awesome. And then the next week, I'm like, I'm nervous now. If I didn't care, I'd be having a good Sunday. I mean, it's cold. It's
Well, that was such
snowing.
a fascinating experience because it's like, oh, we won, thrilling overtime game. Somehow we wound up with the Nuggets game.
Wow.
And that's why we were next to the stadium.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in the arena, and I get the text from you guys that Bo's out because his ankle's broken. And you could feel the energy shift in the arena as the news spread throughout the arena, and people started getting the news. It was the weirdest thing to be like, hell yeah, we're going to the AFC Championship. Oh no.
I've never watched the air get sucked out of an entire fan base so fast in my life. We got to celebrate it for 10 minutes. 10 fucking minutes. That was it. And it was devastating. But I will say this. As a lifelong Bronco fan, this is nothing new. We figured it out. We'll figure it out at some point down the line. I think they're going to be just as good next year, and we'll see what a first place schedule looks like for them, which would be a little bit more difficult. But Patriots, fun fact, the Patriots had the 7th easiest schedule in NFL history this year, and they're going to the Super Bowl. They had to face a backup quarterback, 2 quarterbacks in horrifyingly bad weather. All 3 of their games were in horrible weather this year.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
It's just, like I said, it sucks the way the Broncos season ended. I think they'll be back next year. But you just all these magical moments. You know, maybe I can trace it back to 2010 because I remember just watching that USA team defy the odds, and there's like, here we go, we beat Canada in the trial rounds, and so that goes back to the Dallas hasn't won in 7 games. We beat Canada. Going into the gold medal game, it's like, all right, you know how to win. And Sidney fucking Crosby, I love him. I also hate him. It broke my heart, and that was the first real, I think, sports disappointment I had. And you just don't come back from that.
Well, as an Avs fan, you've never seen them lose the cup. They're 3-0.
Yeah, but I've seen Team USA lose the gold medal game.
Yeah, and that's devastating in its own right.
Yeah, and it's just that was probably the first time I quite why?
Why am I here? Why am I doing this to myself?
Well, and they lost the 4 Nations too, right? To Bennington.
Yeah.
Who has arguably been the worst goalie in the league this year, by a country mile, which is always fun to see. It's
country
just
kilometer for our Canadian fans.
Yeah, country kilometer. Yeah.
Sorry, we use freedom units here. How many bald eagles is that?
One other topic, Alex, you wanted to bring up, something that I kind of actually wanted to pick your brain about.
More sad time
stuff. Is player tributes.
It's not necessarily the player tributes that I have a problem. I the reason this came up is because I watched on YouTube, I saw Jonathan Taze's return to Chicago, and they played his video, and he gets all teary-eyed, gets on the ice, does a little it's awesome. Chicago standing ovation, that's great. I wish it didn't have to happen. I wish Taze was just a Blackhawk his whole career. I wish Kane was a Blackhawk his whole career. I wish Marchand was a Bruin. It's weird to see these guys that you associate them with these things.
There is a blue.
It's strange. And
Gretzky has everything.
Forsberg has a Flyer. Forsberg has a Predator. These things suck, and I don't know. Is it a problem of modern sports? Or is it a benefit of modern sports that these other teams can experience these guys? You know,
I still don't think you see it as much in hockey as you do in other sports, basketball especially,
or baseball.
No, it's just LeBron.
Baseball has no loyalty.
And Russell.
Well,
Westbrook.
I think the problem with baseball is you have that when you draft a guy and you sign him, he can't do anything for 7 seasons.
Yep.
Good.
So
make it 14.
I think the problem you run into with baseball, and
sorry, Ohtani, you're an angel forever.
Well, you look at it and okay, you're stuck with this team for 7 years, no matter what happens. At a certain point, we played the show, and you can't get out unless they trade you. So you get to a point, and you're like, well, this team sucks. They're not doing anything to get better. Why do I want to stay here? Colorado.
Rockies.
And the fact that there's no salary cap. So you can go out and spend $500 million on a player if you want.
And the Dodgers will just defer it till 2041.
Yeah, but it's like,
whatever.
That I think goes into the, like, I don't feel attached to these teams as much anymore because the guys you grow up and really love to watch go play for other teams. And to go back to my Greek myths, what if, like, Achilles just joined the Trojans all of a sudden? Like, these are the heroes. Like, the modern sports is the closest to heroes and, like, sagas we're getting these days. And, like, that's the storylines we're telling ourselves. That's why we're doing the podcast. That's why we watch broadcasts. That's why we watch YouTube videos. Is because we're adding narratives. We're adding storylines. Right. These aren't just robots going out. Like, this video game behind us. This doesn't matter. No one cares about this. We care about the players. We love, like, Binnington throwing a bottle at Kadri. Ooh, that just adds drama. I love it.
Yeah.
Or, like, Forsberg going down in the 2001 playoffs. Can we win the cup? We just lost our best player. That's insane. We still do it. For Bork. That's great.
Do it for John.
And, like, that's another good example is, like, Bork leaving the Bruins.
This one's for Pat.
That's a lot of people's favorite moment. So
because,
what the hell are we talking about?
So like, that's different, though. Bork was traded to Colorado because they knew as a franchise they would never get him a cup, and they wanted him to get a cup. Yeah. That is why he is respected as a Bruin and an Av, and Bruins fans will forever be grateful to the Avalanche for giving him that opportunity to win the cup.
I would have been your daddy.
Absolutely nothing else, but that one moment.
Well, and if you think about it, though, major trades are the reason why the Avs won any cups in the first place. If Patrick Waugh doesn't snap at Canadian management, we never win the 96 cup. Stefan Fiset is not, or Jocelyn Thibault is not taking us to fucking...
Hey, there's no T-Bolt slander on this channel, okay?
I wanted to push your buttons. That's why I said it.
I love me some Jocelyn Thibault.
What about Mark Denis?
Denis.
First pick in Avs history.
Mark Denis.
Noted Columbus Blue Jacket alum.
Okay, here's a trivia question for you. Who was the backup goaltender in 2001 to Patrick Waugh?
Oh, shit. There wasn't Abby?
It was Abby.
Abisher?
Abisher. Dave Abisher.
That was his first full season, wasn't it?
Yeah, he and Tanguay.
Good old Swiss cheese.
Yeah. He's also like one of the longest tenured Avs goalies in the club history. Yes, he is.
Yeah. You really shouldn't draft goalies from neutral nations.
Peter Budaj.
Yeah, look what happened. We absolutely owned the Columbus Blue Jackets until Abisher became our starting goaltender, and then they beat us finally.
Because of Mark Denis.
It took like 9 seasons.
Yeah, because the Avalanche were committing Geneva Convention violations against them for like 5 years, and then the Swiss goalie's like, "All right, guys, we need to let them win one."
Do you think Rick Nash was just like, "God damn it, not them again"?
Oh, we're playing Colorado. Oh, my leg hurts.
Oh no, it's like the Blackhawks seeing Varlamov in that, and like, well, this sucks.
He's gonna make 55 saves, and we're gonna lose 1-0.
Cool, we're gonna have to score on the first shot, or we're losing this game.
But so to go back to the point of like modern day players and a player movement and things like that, I agree with Sean. It happens a lot less in the NHL than it does in any other sport, and I think a lot of the moves of players like a Marchand are to get them opportunities to win. I mean, he already won one in Boston.
Yeah.
But he wanted to win another one.
I'll never forget the video that came out. I think it was Boston's GM, where he like walks into the room on deadline day and he's like, "Margie for a pick." And it's like, why are you sad? You made that decision.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I don't feel bad for you. You decided to accept that package. To trade Marchand to Florida.
No, the consequences of my own decision.
Oh no, it's the consequences of my actions. They finally caught up to me. Like, what are you upset about? Like, I could see if, Sakic gets a call from like McKinnon, and McKinnon's like, "I need you to trade me right fucking now."
Fucking now.
Like, okay, then you could come in and be like, "We had to trade McKinnon." Like, okay, be sad about that if you got forced to make the trade. Like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, Drury in New York can be a little bit upset about the Panarin situation, sort of, because Panarin's like, "Hey, I want out of here."
All right, so I'm formulating the idea. I'm chipping away at it as we're talking.
Okay.
I think that's probably one of the reasons. That's probably one of the main reasons why I'm finding myself disenfranchised with sports lately, because like I don't when you don't cheer for players, when you cheer for an organization, and those members be like, McKinnon is an Av, Sakic is an Av, but then like if you see McKinnon in a Flyers jersey, that shatters the illusion, and so then you start thinking about, well, I'm cheering for the Avalanche as an organization. Well, those like the players are millionaires, the owners are billionaires, and so like that starts to suck because like, well, the Avalanche don't care about me, and like it's not. If the market becomes bad enough, the Avalanche will pack up and get the hell out of here. And so it's like what the things that we root for, I think, are shifting. And like back in the day, players weren't as rich as they were, which is, I mean, this economy is frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Agreed.
Good for them. I want, like, especially with how short these careers are, like get as much money as you can as fast as you can, because you don't know if your health's going to hold up. You don't know if your own player's skate's going to sever your knee.
And you're going to be out for 3 years.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's just like, you can't root
Take
for
one puck to the eyeball, and all of a sudden your career's over.
You could be. I think it would be healthier to just root for a player. Like if I was just a McKinnon fan, not an Avalanche fan, I'd be like, "Wow, look at the season he's having. That's great. Oh, they're out of the playoffs again. Who cares? McKinnon won the Hart." Like that. That would be safer, I think.
Well,
but you're like balancing these two things that I think they're both eroding, and that's I think what's like the team itself is losing an identity, and then these players, like the storylines are fading away. Like John Elway is a Bronco. Brett Favre is not a Minnesota Viking.
Or a New York Jet.
Or a New York Jet.
It's just weird, and I think like I said, it ruins the illusion a little bit of what we're in it for.
Well, and that's actually a great point. But you're also describing every
Yay, gold star for you.
You're describing every Gen Z, Gen Alpha sports fan now. They don't root for teams, they root for players. Like for instance, I have friends who have kids, obviously because I'm fucking old, and their kids are old enough to establish.
Not either one of us, by the way.
Fan bases.
0 kids.
0 kids between these two. I have a 7-month-old upstairs.
I very much like other people's kids.
Yeah.
Because I can give them back.
Yeah. Will the Thrill helped organize this podcast today. But one of the things I always ask them is like, well, who are your kids' favorite teams? And the most common answer is, well, my son likes the Chiefs because of Patrick Mahomes, or my son's a Lakers fan because of LeBron James, or like my nephews are big Oilers fans because of Connor McDavid. But it's not because he plays for the Oilers and he's really good. It's because he was an Erie Otter and they're from Pennsylvania. He played his junior hockey at Erie, and now that he's great and they both play hockey, they both are big hockey fans. Unfortunately, they're Pittsburgh Penguins fans because of where they live. Sorry, Jake. But it's they're fans of players. They're not fans of teams in general. And I mean, even some of my cousins who are in my circle, like I have a cousin who's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan because he was a fan of
Pirates.
Because he was a fan of Mike Allstott, or like a fan of a player. Who am I going to split all this buried treasure with? You guys are going to have to tell us what dodgeball references you can catch, and I'm not going to point them out anymore. But I mean, like, but that's the whole point, is people now root for players, not teams. And I'm as a soccer fan, that's a big thing. That's a big part of it as well, because like soccer players move all over the world. Cristiano Ronaldo's played for like 17 clubs.
Around the world.
And how many seasons in 17 clubs has he played for? Like 800?
I think he's like in season 29, 30, I think.
All right, now we're going to take this conversation to a real philosophical level. We can cut all of this. My problem and my question with that is I feel like society itself is atomizing more and more. Like I'm a libertarian, right? I like individualism, rugged individualism. But at a certain point, like that was the kind of fun thing about rooting for a team, is you felt like you won with the team, you lost with the team. I think psychologically speaking, that's why we watch sports, is because there's like a shared sense of celebratory, like, and the same thing with the anguish. Like you're feeling it as a group, even though I had nothing to do with the Broncos' win or loss. When you start rooting for players, is that just a symptom of society becoming more individualistic, becoming more atomized?
I would say yes. It's going to overtime, by the way.
Also, I don't mean to derail this too much, but there are currently 240 plus hits combined in this game.
Oh yeah.
And 1 penalty.
Jesus.
Good clean physical game, guys. Good clean physical game.
To carry with your point, I agree with you. I think a lot of it, and I think to be fair, I think a lot of it is internet culture.
Yeah.
I think now that people have access to players in a level they've never had before, it makes them think that they can expand on these players. I also, and Sean, you can agree or disagree with this statement, I blame gambling with sports as well.
I think won in overtime.
We won! Yes, won! Woo!
And it was overtime.
We actually won an overtime game.
They shot the puck.
Now we know it's fake.
So the Ottawa Avs game will end 7-6 in overtime tomorrow.
With 1 billion shots and 1 trillion hits.
Yeah, and only 1 penalty.
Why not?
Well, I mean, I guess technically 2, because there was a fighting major, but there was only 1 power play.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Nathan McKinnon.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. But no, I think that's part of it. Derailing this whole thing.
We're serious people.
But I truly believe that
Totally super ethereal.
super thorough. Especially fantasy football is a big one. Guys are getting DMs, people being like, I'm gonna kill you and your children because you dropped that pass that would have won my league and I would have won $1,000. Or thanks to a baseball player, I watched the Blue Jays lose the World Series in 7 games.
We watched them watch.
They watched me crumble on the floor and just be devastated.
Another one of those things. Why did I get invested in this?
Yeah.
I was sad.
Yeah.
And I'm an Angels fan, so I'm always sad. But I was real sad.
Yeah.
Real sad.
But there are people who are threatening the pitcher of the Blue Jays because they lost their life savings over a baseball game.
Yeah,
I think that's part of it. That's leading to this fragmentation and atomization, as you called it, because people are seeing it in a individualistic level as opposed to a team. It's now a person. One person affects my entire situation.
I think that's the thing. See, I'm the concept's forming in my mind. You guys are witnessing a concept just born in my head.
It's a beautiful thing.
And a star was born.
It's a painful process.
I'm gonna put the beautiful mind thing around your head while that's happening.
I think that's why it's so hard because, the few sports bets I made just to try it out, it just wasn't fun. I liked watching the Avs. A lot of money. I made a couple $100 on the first Dallas loss because I was like,
damn.
Well, you bet $5, you get $200.
Right.
And so it was free money, and I bet that the Avs were gonna lose. I bet $200 the Avs were gonna lose because I'm like, if the Avs win, we're going on to the next round. Hell yeah. If we lose, imaginary money's gone. I probably should have taken the money and just saved it. But, it was free money, and I won the bet, and I was like, this is interesting. And then I lost money on the White Sox ruining a parlay. And I was like, why do I care about the White Sox?
Yeah.
I don't want to care about it. I don't want, a random Tuesday to be stressful because the White Sox are blowing a lead to the Miami Marlins.
On a random Tuesday in August at noon.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And with a lot of the online commenters, only bet if you can or if you have the means to do so.
Right.
Which is fine. I'm not gonna ruin your part. If you want to do something that elevates the enjoyment you get out of a game, sure. But I just feel on a society level, we're really min-maxing this. We're trying to suck the fun out of every second of this. We already have an hour, 3 20-minute periods. That's great. But now I need to make sure McKinnon gets 20 shots on goal, and I need to make sure Nietzsche's gets an assist. I'm this isn't fun anymore.
I need McCarr to be at over 1.5.
Well, and that leads me to my other point that's kind of made sports hard to pay attention to. I've stopped following a lot of sports pages on social media networks like Twitter and Threads and Instagram. The main pages are fine. I'll follow those. I'll follow a few fan pages here and there. But specifically as a soccer fan, it's difficult because there's so many negative people. But this whole concept of everything being rigged now because of gambling is also leading to this construct of people not wanting to watch sports anymore because they're like, well, why would I watch if I already know what the outcome's going to be? These same fucking morons are the people who have watched wrestling their whole lives and didn't realize it was scripted until like 5 weeks ago.
I mean, I'm
totally real.
I'm not gonna take any WWE heat here. Right? I love me some of that fake wrestling.
Oh, give me AEW.
But the thing about that is like the reason WWE is successful is because of the narratives baked into the wrestling.
Bingo.
And like my first point was we're losing the narratives now of like, okay, John Elway is a Bronco. Let's watch him struggle for his entire career and then finally break through and win. With like Mika or who was our goalie in 2022? I was gonna say Mika.
Darcy
Kiprusoff.
Kemper.
Okay.
We're gonna say Mika Kiprusoff? Yeah. You mean Calgary Flames and Finnish legend Mika Kiprusoff?
What, you guys will never get Kiprusoff on the brain? So
I think about him like once every couple of months. That's weird.
Like Kemper was fun because he had a little bit of a narrative going with us. Like when he was with the Coyotes and he played the Avs and he stood on his head in Game 1. It annoyed the hell out of me because all the announcers were like, well, that's what Arizona needs to do to win. It's like, yeah, no shit. Their goalie needs to be the best player on earth to beat the Avs? Yeah, sure. And then the Avalanche destroyed the Coyotes the next 4 games. We go on the next round. End of the story. And then we get Kiprusoff and...
Kemper. It's because it's K and K.
Yeah.
I don't think Kiprusoff ever wore an Avs jersey.
He didn't.
He did in video game land, probably.
So Darcy... I just don't want to say Darcy.
Darcy.
So Darcy Kemper comes to the Avalanche, and I'm excited because I remember watching him in Arizona and remember watching all the news narratives of like he's the greatest goaltender for the Avalanche I've ever faced. Look how amazing he is. And then he's not that for us. He's just kind of mid. And then one of the Nashville Predators tries to dissect his eye. Like,
holy shit, yeah.
And then the narrative gets kind of like added to because Frankie, the backup, shows up and stands on his head against the best player in the world.
Pavel Francouz.
And, like, that's fun. And then, like, okay, so there's this really cool narrative. I'm a goalie. I played goalie. I really enjoy goalies, obviously. Mika Kiprusoff. All of that went out the window when the next year Kemper wants more money. And it's like, you're not the reason we won the cup.
No.
You helped. Like, you weren't.
Oh, yes, the Stanley Cup tax.
You weren't bad, but, like, you go fuck off to, I think, Washington, and it's like...
And now he's in L.A.
And he's playing well in L.A., but I think it's, again, that's the benefit of a good team.
Yeah, and it's like, are you just going to be the road warrior, or are you going to, like, when you look at your den at the end of a career, you're going to have all 32 teams hung out there? But like, wow, I really didn't stay anywhere.
He's the Josh Johnson of hockey.
And so, yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe I would rather the sports be rigged and just it's like watching a movie. Like, when you think that it's...
Just rig it for the teams I cheer for, please.
Just make the Avalanche the Harlem Globetrotters and make the Stars the Washington Generals. I'll watch that every week. I'll watch that game every week. I don't care. Let's beat the Stars 10-0 every day.
Now I wonder how many people actually know who the Harlem Globetrotters play every game.
Yeah. I will say this.
That was a nice poll.
Yeah, that was a deep cut. Nice work. I will say this. If it is scripted, I don't give a flying fuck because I don't know the outcome. I mean, I don't write it, so I don't care. At the end of the day,
it is entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
Cool. Why not? Like, it'd be frustrating if baseball's rigged because please can the Rockies be good once?
No, because Monford's a dumbass.
One time.
At
least we know they're gonna suck forever, so it's not really disappointing.
Hey, apparently they've made some really good moves.
I've heard that every offseason since 1993.
Correct.
Oh, they made some good moves.
Yeah, I don't actually know what they are. I think it's weird that Arenado's back in the division. He got traded to Arizona. He's playing for the Diamondbacks.
Is he going to score a hat trick on us?
Score a hat trick? You mean hit for the cycle? I don't think he's fast enough anymore.
Somehow he'll figure out how to score 3 goals against the Rockies.
I love...
If there's a team that can let it happen, it's the Colorado Rockies.
I love the fact that we paid the Cardinals, and he left to go win a championship, and the Cardinals got worse.
Don't they have like less playoff wins than we do in the time that they've had Arenado or some stupid stat like that?
Do we have any playoff wins?
They don't.
That's what I'm saying. Because like, didn't we like win?
I think we won a wild card game in the stretch since he's been gone.
But like, they haven't won any.
No.
Yeah, they missed the
crazy stat.
They missed the playoffs 3 of the 4 years he was there.
I don't think the Rockies have won anything since Arenado's been gone. The one wild card game we won, I thought, was with Arenado against the Cubbies.
Let's find out.
I don't know. I don't remember, but I thought I remembered seeing something like that where it was like some stupid thing like that.
This part of the video is gonna be fun to edit because I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. This will be fun.
It's like I just find it hard, and like I know this might be a silly complaint, but there just doesn't seem like there's that much to root for anymore because I don't know, it's just not entertaining to watch guys get traded around the league every so often and be like, okay, now let's throw all this money into buying all these mercenaries for the team and let's try to win that way, and then the next year they're all going to be gone, so we're going to have a whole new team, and good luck with that.
So, no, the Rockies have not won a playoff game since the trade for Arenado, but the Cardinals are 4-11 since Arenado joined the team.
Yeah, see, I told you guys are crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. No. They are 0-3 since Arenado joined the team in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's better than the Rockies 0-0.
Yeah, the last Rockies playoff.
Oh, that might have been it. They've won as many as the Rockies have.
Yeah.
That might have been what it was.
By the way, I wanted to look this up because I was interested to see where he's landed. The GM for the worst era of the Columbus Blue Jackets was Jarmo Kakalainen, and I knew that he had gotten moved.
It wasn't Mika Kubrasov?
I mean, they're both Finnish. He is now the executive of the Buffalo Sabres.
Well,
so
can he do worse than they are right now?
I don't know.
Horrible record speed run. Go. Let's lose. What if we lost all the games?
Set that record and make sure nobody can ever break it.
Oh my god.
Because I mean, next year they moved to 84 games.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So go lose 84 games. Nobody will ever break that.
But wasn't the season long enough?
Well,
I don't know why they added 2 more games. I think it's because they're planning on adding 2 more teams
No.
in the near future.
Yeah, they're like Houston and LA want to try to give Atlanta another.
Yeah,
team.
let's give Texas another team.
Let's give Atlanta a third shot to give a team to Canada.
Bring back the Kansas City Scouts.
I would be down for
No,
that.
you know what? I want South Dakota to get. I want a random ass place that has no team.
No, Lincoln, Nebraska.
The Rapid City Black Hills.
Yeah,
The Spearfish
let's do it. You know,
Marlin.
the Moorhead Lakes.
let's give Mexico City a team. That'd be fun.
That'd be kind of cool.
We got Canada, America, and then that one little Mexican team just trying their best.
Move it to Oaxaca.
Godspeed.
Godspeed.
The Tijuana donkey shows.
No, I would honestly be stoked if Mexico had a team.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be badass.
I'd vibe with that.
I'd buy that team too. That'd be sick.
That shit's gonna look dope.
Cause fuck Canada.
It's gonna be designed super cool. I think it's interesting too that if you think about it, they want to give Atlanta a third shot. Are they gonna move that team to Regina in 5 years? They're gonna move it to Saskatoon,
They'll probably throw a dart at a Canadian map and move them to wherever the dart hits.
Hamilton.
All right, here's a fun fact.
Here, you guys can only get to your arena by the ice road.
Sean, you don't get the answer. I think you know the answer.
Yellowknife.
Why is Calgary named the Flames?
Because I know in Atlanta, because they were the Atlanta Flames originally.
Why were they the Atlanta Flames? That's gotta be right. You got 10 seconds.
I can do that much before we get started.
Technically parody law, because you're doing it and it's not in the
Because your
same
life's a
key,
parody.
and your life's a parody.
My life is a parody.
Does it have to do with an industry in Atlanta?
Well,
It has to do
I
with-
guess. I guess.
If your industry's murder,
I guess technically it
Oh,
has to do
Lord.
with an industry, but
It's like Devil's Night?
it has to do with the Civil War.
Oh shit. Okay, I have no idea then.
So,
a scorched earth policy.
so yeah, William Tecumseh Sherman marched on
What?
Atlanta. Marched
What
to the sea. It was
a
big.
name.
Basically, it was called the March to the Sea,
Mhm.
and he tore up, like, his whole plan was to ruin the South so they could never, like, come back. And so he tore up train tracks, he, like, burned down cities, and he burned Atlanta to the ground.
Holy shit.
And they named the Atlanta Flames after that event.
Which is
What?
ridiculous.
Isn't that wild?
Wow, that's nuts.
And then they moved to Calgary, and the Calgary was like, that's a cool name.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because
And
like
so
Alberta, like it's an oil province, so like oil catches fire, I guess.
It
Yeah.
will only be okay when the ghost of Tecumseh Sherman burns Calgary to the ground. All right?
Okay.
Then you can have that name.
I have a trivia question for you. Sean, I think you might know this because I might have told you this. Alex, you may know this because I've told you this. This is in
Because
reference to
mine.
Colorado sports history. Do you know
The Muffin Man? Yes.
why the Denver Broncos came into existence?
I have no idea.
Sean?
Well, we see when a mommy Bronco and a daddy Bronco love each other very much.
When
So-
Lucifer and the bear at the convention center.
Drank a little too much of Stranahan's whiskey. That's a deep Colorado cut for you.
They met up at La Boheme.
They went to La Boheme, which is now Rick's Cabaret. I drove past it a bunch when I worked downtown. Don't judge me.
At least it's not called beef.
That's true.
It's what's for dinner.
So there was a business owner in Colorado named Bob Howsam. And Bob Howsam wanted to start a baseball team in Colorado. Bob Howsam desperately wanted to be part of the Major League Baseball organization. And Major League Baseball essentially told him to go pound sand because they would never put a team in Colorado. This was in
and
the
they still haven't.
and this was in the 50s.
Even though one of the first night games ever was played here in Colorado.
Yes, it
No,
was.
Sean, we don't have a team.
We had
It wasn't
a minor
a
league.
major league team. It
Yeah.
was-
Still waiting for that day.
We had the Denver Bears at the time, so we still had a minor league baseball team here,
Bears.
which went on to become the Denver Zephyrs.
Zephyrs.
So he met up with a few other owners of groups, and he decided he wants to start his own baseball league. Major League Baseball did not like this idea, so they stole two of the cities and created two franchises out of those cities.
Which are?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's the Colt 45s in Houston, which became the Astros. And then the Kansas City Royals, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, God.
Hell, that's how the NHL started. And we're like, oh, I don't like this league. I'm starting another one.
Yeah. So
Screw you
Howsam,
guys, I'm going home.
so Howsam meets
Because
this
Toronto got upset.
dickwad named Lamar Hunt. And Lamar Hunt's like, well, you know what we really need to do? Let's get into this other sport called football.
From Lamar's donut fame.
He's the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Does he own donuts?
He might.
Boo.
Boo. So he and Lamar find other cities, and they start the AFL in 1960. The AFL gave us the Raiders,
Boo.
the Chargers,
Football league.
Football league. The Raiders, the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Jets, the Oilers, the Broncos, and the Patriots. Bob Howsam started the AFL to spite Major League Baseball. He then sells the team, the Broncos, goes on and becomes the general manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, and then 3 years later goes to Cincinnati and creates the Big Red Machine, which is like one of the greatest baseball teams ever put together in the history of Major League Baseball, with Ken Griffey Sr., Joe Morgan, Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, and they win 4 championships in 6 years.
And this is why Mike's on the podcast.
So what you're saying is we could have had a really good baseball team called
Yeah,
the Denver Broncos.
called the Denver Broncos, yeah. But
and
we
a
got,
hockey team called the Colorado Rockies.
which are now the,
New Jersey Devils.
correct. Who were they before before the Colorado Rockies?
Kansas City Scouts.
Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do.
Well, that's an easy.
I was like, wait a minute. This is too easy.
it
Ah!
was so easy, I panicked.
Yeah.
Pooped my pants a little.
Poop my pants.
Trick question.
But yeah, so I mean, I kind of enjoy. I love sports history. It's like one of my favorite things. So I did not know that about the Atlanta Flames. I figured it would. It's funny because it's way before this happened, but I was gonna be like, is it because of the Olympics? But the Calgary Flames were already in existence in 1996.
No, that's what's kind of funny because when the Calgary Flames play the Columbus Blue Jackets, that is a deep cut Civil War reference.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody watching except me cares.
They will now.
That's really funny.
I hope so.
Now that they know.
Somebody watch this just to know that.
That's ridiculous. Sports is crazy because, like, you think franchises moving is a modern thing, but it's been happening since the beginning of professional sports.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a video I watched on, like, Major League Baseball teams moving, and there was a period of time where a team moved every 4 years.
The fucking A's are moving for the 7th time in their history.
Maybe they should try a new name. Well, you look at the Stanley Cup. Like
They might have to.
Yeah, I know. Fuck.
Their
Like
trademark application got
the first
denied.
few.
Oh, shit.
I think if you look at like the first 10 teams to win the Stanley Cup, I think one of them is still around. It's the Canadians. Like the Millionaires are gone.
You don't have the Millionaires anymore. You don't have the Maroons anymore.
The
The Marlies are
Metropolitans.
gone. The
Is it Seattle?
Metropolitans are gone.
I think Seattle. They
Seattle
were the first American team to win. I think.
Yeah, Seattle Metropolitans were the first
Okay.
American team to win the Stanley Cup.
MSU Denver alum.
E.
2 Roadrunners on this podcast.
Yeah, then you had
I'm
the
a half road runner.
the original Ottawa Senators.
I'm a Lynx.
Is that what CU Denver is?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
They're
awesome.
the kitty cats.
You could be a Community College of Denver Skyhawk.
I think it's better than Lynx.
Lynx are dope though.
As opposed to a groundhog.
Yeah, I mean, that's
We're
true.
the Skyhawks. Thanks for clarifying, community college. You're doing so well. You guys are so smart.
Hey, I got my associates. Fuck off.
Good work.
Good work,
Hey,
guy.
hey.
Yeah, hawks are in the sky.
Hey, it only took me 10 years to get my bachelor's degree, and Sean and I both got kicked out of a 4-year university. So
Yeah, because you guys weren't cut out to be bears.
no, we weren't cut out to be bears.
Mm-mm.
We were barely cut out to live in Greeley.
Barely.
Shit, my last semester there, we spent more time at home for the first, month of the school year because we were down here doing that contest thing. Best band in Denver on the Fox.
Oh,
Last band standing.
Last band standing, that's what it was.
Puppy killer.
Oh my, we don't talk about that.
Puppy killer.
We had to write a song about Michael Vick.
Yeah, that's how long ago that was.
Yeah, we've been doing this a long
That was
time.
before his comeback.
Yeah. That was the first time that he was like, oh my god, he's got a dogfighting ring.
He's a perfect example of a contract that was designed for somebody to not fuck up, and he still fucked it up.
He was an Atlanta Sky Falcon, then he became a Philadelphia Sky Eagle.
And that Philadelphia Sky Eagle contract was 10 years, $100 million, $0 guaranteed. All he had to do was not screw up, and he screwed up, and they cut him.
I don't think that's how contracts. Nothing's guaranteed. Why am I signing this?
Why would I do this?
This is the worst contract in the world.
Fun fact, the NBA is the only professional league in the United States where your money is fully guaranteed.
Huh.
Every other sport is incentive
And it's
laden.
also one of the weirdest salary cap structures.
It's got aprons and
It's-
levels and
I don't.
max contracts, and it's too complicated. My wife's an accountant, and I still don't understand it.
Well, that's
Flexing
because-
the wife again.
That's because your wife's the accountant and not you.
No, I work in media.
You don't get that information.
That's why
by-
she handles the numbers. He just talks good.
I'll just talk real good.
I just talk good.
One of the hopes of this podcast too is once we get the YouTube channel up and running and
A Red Bull sponsorship.
a Red Bull. Oh my God, please. Is we want to start doing some live streams of some games, and I have 2 of the best color analysts in the world right here.
Who wants to see them do play-by-play for my beer league team?
I'd fucking do that in a heartbeat.
Lowest level we got. Some of us don't even know how to skate. It's gonna be interesting.
Why you no play me?
Why you don't blame me?
Yes.
Would you guys be able to pay me to do that? Or is it out of the kindness of my heart?
We'll pay you with a crisp high five.
Pay you. It's part of the podcast. That's
Okay,
They
fair
might
enough.
actually require you to pay to be there.
yeah.
You can't stream this shit.
Yeah, you might actually have to pay to be there.
What is it? Live Barn? Do I have to
Yeah.
watch it on Live Barn and do it that way?
Honestly, we could. I could do play-by-play in my own games. I'd be like, see, here's where I fall down. Here's where I shot the puck and it went way wide.
The only times I ever hear from Sean about his games are when he scores weird fucking goals from the blue line.
Which game last week we had 7 players and the other team had their whole bench, so it was a rough game. We ended up losing 8-2, which is a lot better than I thought it was going to go.
It was a firefight.
But at one point we're down 2-0 and I have the puck. I am in the defensive zone and I just send it out to try to clear it because I'm like, this is how we're going to play this game because there's way more of them than there are us. And I clear it out and I'm like, oh cool, it's going to be on net, so it's not going to be icing. Oh, that went in.
Spectacular.
I don't know how it happened. I saw it hit the goalie's paddle, and then I saw the ref point, and I was like, "Oh, that went in."
What are you pointing at for?
I just scored 100. I just scored from 150 feet. That's cool. We are gonna lose this game, but that's awesome. I don't know how it went in, but holy crap, that's the best goal I've ever scored.
And it was not an empty net goal, and as Alex pointed out,
Spectacular.
Look it up, children.
That guy got Tuscaloosa.
Oh my god, that was brutal. But damn, gentlemen,
Is that it?
we've talked for an hour and 40 minutes.
I think.
We
can
talked
call
long.
I think we can call that a good episode.
All right, so
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I think
Push the bell
Follow
notification.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X, whatever the hell you call it.
before we say our goodbyes, I just thought of a tradition. I think one of the things we should do is the 3 stars of the podcast.
Oh.
I think coming in 3rd star, Mika Kiprusoff.
Yeah.
Yep, a nice random throw in there for the Finnish legend,
3rd
Mika
star,
Kiprusoff.
Mika Kiprusoff.
Yeah.
2nd star?
Whew. 2nd star. I guess we're gonna have to go with Tecumseh Sherman as a
was a-
2nd star. That was a deep.
Yeah.
That was a deep cut.
That was
Sherman.
For burning down Atlanta and giving them their team name and then moving them to Calgary.
And Sean, who's our 1st star of the podcast?
That's a tough one. There's a lot of good options here. I think.
We can look at our game behind us and see if there's any stats.
Well, I think Arturi Lekin had 3 goals and 1 assist on 6 shots.
Holy shit! Brady Tkachuk had 13 shots.
Check the team. See who had the most hits for the Avs.
Hit the X button.
There were 300 hits in this game.
On the box score, or not box score. Go down. Yeah, and then open it.
Let's see here.
Go over to the.
Holy crap! Kale McCarr had 21 hits.
Nelson had 10.
Wow.
Click the left thumbstick once to sort. There
Sorry,
you go.
fans. I'm an Xbox player.
Sully had 11. Nelson had 10.
That is.
The list goes down to 5.
Everybody.
Olofsson had 1 hit, and he only played a minute 43.
He got hurt.
He got hurt. Oh yeah, you said you saw him go off.
He got hurt.
All right, Sean, who's the 1st star?
Wow.
Who's the 1st star?
Oh. I think because of the theme of the beginning of this, I think my 1st star would be Sysiphus.
Oh,
I like it. Sysiphus it is.
Since the power play keeps trying the same thing over and over and over again.
Sisyphus would come out to do a skate around, but he's rolling that boulder.
But he doesn't have time.
he's
Doesn't have
rolling
time.
up that hill.
They won't let him.
Who's the Greek myth of the person who's chained to the rock and has his insides eaten by crows?
Oh, that's an easy one. You gotta give me something harder than that, Sean. Do you know this one?
I just can't remember.
Prometheus, wasn't it?
That's Prometheus.
Yeah, that is Prometheus, the man who brought fire to humanity.
He gave fire to the humans.
Because he has a sky vulcan or a vulture.
Sky vulture.
Sky vulture. Every day comes and eats his liver.
You know what? See that was an honorable mention in the stars is the Skyhawks.
I'm gonna throw out another name, and we'll use this one for the next podcast. Do you know the mascot of CSU Pueblo? Either of you?
Is it Sisyphus?
Is it the ground lynx?
It is not the
Ground
ground
cat.
the ground cat.
Ground cat.
Sky cat.
It is the Thunderwolves.
Wow.
I'm partial to the lightning links.
Lightning links.
The thunder.
I think that's one thing I'm gonna add to every episode is
The earthquake bird.
The earthquake is a random collegiate mascot because there are
The
some
torrential
great
downpour
ones.
guinea pigs.
The Seattle sort of Kraken squid monster things.
The inconvenient wind. Prairie dogs. All right,
everybody.
The dust devil goldfish.
And with that, that's the end of our first episode of the Pester Line Podcast. As Sean mentioned, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you would feel so honored. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please give us 5 stars and tell us how you feel.
Please help us.
And if anything, tell your friends.
We need your help.
Yeah, this is something new for us and something fun for all of us. Greatly appreciated, gentlemen. It was always fun. Always a good time. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you when I see ya.
Yep.